surrender. Attune now to the mental body, the vibration of the mind. Sink, release. Let go of all mental blocks. Programs, limitations within the mind, positionalities, all forms of force or tension, sink, dissolve, let go. Centered in intention, sensing the space, sinking, moving the energy down through the system as you let go, surrender. Now, once again, see the light in the center. Calm, gentle breaths. Expand now this light from the center. See it spreading into the whole body. Feeling the neck, head, chest, back and belly. The shoulders, hips, arms, legs, hands and feet. See, sense this light radiating in the entire space. Now slowly expand this light to form a shell of white light surrounding the entire body. With each breath you take, see this light becoming brighter and brighter. Once again, attune with the frequency of your intention. Feel the elevated emotion. And now, slowly draw the center forward. See a plane of energy from your center to a line in front of you. Softly rest your focus on the power plane. Intention, vitality flowing from the field through the center. like a sun of infinite power radiating behind you that flows energy, vitality through you. Softly aware of the power plane, sensing, sinking and flowing everything along that gentle point of focus. Become this frequency. Resting in this state. Calm, loving breaths. In perfect harmony. Now mentally repeat to yourself, may peace be in my body. May harmony be in my emotions. May absolute tranquility prevail in my thoughts. I am the state. Slowly bring your awareness back into the space you're in. And bring the state into our training today. Come back to it. Remember it throughout your daily life, whenever you wish. Open the eyes whenever you're ready. Let's go through the form. Excellent. Alrighty. Breakout room, share your observations. We'll come back for some more training. Alright, jump into your breakout room, share your observations, and we'll come back. Hi, Melissa.
Sifu John, how are you?
How are you? We're live on YouTube as well. What's up, YouTube? Just thought I'd warn you so you're aware to say only appropriate things. What's up, guys? We just everyone goes into a breakout room now. So we just did our state meditation and our form training, and now the guys are in a breakout room sharing observations. I think can you guys chat in this? I don't even know. Hide all chats, chat viewing options. I'm new to this live on YouTube thing, so yeah. If you wanna, where do you put the chat in here? Anyway, so if you want to share your observations or as you please. I'm gonna go jump in one of the other rooms. Do you have any observations there, Melissa?
I know, I just jumped in.
Okay. I'm gonna go check out the breakout rooms.
Ooh.
Alrighty. So yeah, people share observations now to get a feeling for
same time and everything, so that's been really great. The whole Sifu John.
What's up? I like your background, it changed.
Yeah, I was like, what will it be today? But yeah. How about you, Ward?
Good, mate. I love that. You saw a baby, eh? That's amazing, bro.
You saw a baby during the state training?
Yeah. I was telling Ward about it. It was like at first, I've been seeing like more images of people, and when I saw this baby, I was, oh, that's weird. But then I pictured it. I started thinking like, what about that baby's me? And then the baby started to look like me.
Damn.
And then I was like, oh, that's like me as a baby. And then, so I kind of took control of it. And I was just like, wow, like, and then I just started thinking like, the baby doesn't know about this, like, this me now. And then I just thought that was nice. I was like, the baby got some things to look forward to. and then I just let it go after that.
So how was the feeling quality?
Yeah. It was good.
Yeah.
I was telling Ward about like, because like those things come and then you let them go, and then I've been feeling a lot of like the sinking and centering at the same time, and just like focusing on feeling that, and then
Nice.
bringing in the spiritual intention. It always like makes it feel like just that much better, which is crazy. I think it's good to really, because I think like when I practice Selim Tao, I don't think of the spiritual intention as much, but then when I do, it like brings it like that much more powerful.
100%.
Because like
That is the power.
It's, like focusing enough. I'm like,
that literally is the power. Yeah. That's awesome, bro. You said you're getting that sense of centering and sinking, and then when the intention comes in, it gets more powerful. Awesome. That's literally how we live life. I mean, in the Kung Fu way of being, it's aligned with the intention of your spirit. So spiritual intention, so peace, joy, love, power, Christ, consciousness, field, God, whatever, right? You have that spiritual intent on, so you have that openness, that allowing of that frequency to kind of radiate through you, and then letting go of all the blocks. It's like a sword, right? You got one side intention, one part letting go, and you just live with that sword. That's it.
Right. Kind of just letting go. Yeah.
That's the core of it. That's the core of it. we couple that, of course, with the power plane. So your intention is like the power plane, and then letting go is like just letting everything release around it. How about you, Water?
Yeah, right.
Any hobbies?
Kind of really nice flow today. Just really able to dissolve away and you know, get into the moment. You know, nice thinking. It was really nice. Yeah, it was fucking awesome actually.
Got a haircut
I
too.
love letting go. I did get a haircut. Yeah, thank you, Sifu. You noticed.
You sunk
Noticed.
the hair off your head.
Yeah, sunk it. Yeah, indeed.
So you're
Oh,
going deep with the sinking, eh?
Yeah, it was it's pretty good. I even had the dogs coming up and start to nudge me to feed them and all the rest of it, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, instead of like continuing to harass me, they sat down beside me and soaked it up, you know. So
They're feeling the
that
vibe.
that went pretty good. Yeah, chop chop. Yeah. So that was really nice. You're going deep on the sinking things and stuff. Okay, excellent.
Yeah. That's I think one of the biggest misconceptions in life is that you have to force and make things happen, but really it's more a letting go of the blocks, like what's in the way of your, because we're just, as you guys are aware, because we've trained this for a while, we're just becoming our potential, right? Like a plant, you plant a seed and it grows to become the tree that it is. Like the orange seed becomes the orange tree, the apple tree. So we're growing as Ward, as Red, as John, right? And it's not so much that we have to force ourselves to grow into our potential. We just continue to let go of the blockages that are in the way. Makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Alrighty. Bruce, call that subtraction or something like that, right?
Subtracto pants.
Yeah, subtraction pants.
I think that's what he calls it.
Exactly that.
Alrighty, it's
Thank you, Sifu.
I'll close the rooms and I'll see you guys back in the main room.
Awesome.
Alrighty, now for some more training. I don't know if you guys can comment in there. First time on there.
What's that? Sorry, Red?
You eating?
Oh, it's a homemade popsicle. Exactly my daughter's, but I'm just eating.
There's no heart. No hearts there as well.
I saw a note in the background.
How about you?
What,
The rib
am
man.
I eating anything?
Like how you?
Oh, that's what you said. How are you? I'm good.
What are you eating?
Yeah,
What you eating, fool?
that's the key.
Right.
Well, better, Ray?
Alrighty, we are back.
How's the weather over there, Dave? You guys still getting rain?
No, it's actually sunny. A little chilly today, about 60 degrees. I was telling Jason in the breakout that through the meditation, I went from being chilly to my hands being warm. So,
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
Self-heating.
Awesome.
Yeah, people tend to
And
get that.
another pretty light.
They say first the heat, then the light. But let's get into some more training, team. Guards
Yeah, I
up
get a
and
lot
just
of heat
start
there
with some.
too. And in fact, when I do the power plane, a lot of times I've been sitting lately because I've been studying so many yoga classes, and so my legs are a little bit rubbery by about noon because I've already taught like 3 classes. But when I do stand, I stand with my hands like still in fist guard, and then when Sifu brings it into the flowing the energy forward, because my hands will get so hot just being even loosely held. And then I just wait until he says, you know, flow the energy forward, and I open my hands, and it just feels like that energy just goes straight forward. It's really a good evaporative tool too. I feel like it's just like vaporizing all the, just evaporating all the negative energy out. So
Awesome. Keep
That's
that
pretty
state
good.
as we do our punching, guys. So fist over fist, wrist over wrist, and then we'll do our punches and kicks for 5 minutes. Try to maintain state. So centering, sensing, releasing.
did Sifu leave
slowing
us
down the
today?
power plane.
Where's he at? Oh, there he is. He's punching.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are punching. Oh, we can't hear you.
Oh, that's why.
That's
there we go.
what's going on.
Alrighty, so I'm talking and no one can hear me. Alright, so fist over fist, wrist over wrist, punching down the center line. Maintain state as best as you can. Alright, we're getting to kicks. Alright, so kicking, continuous kicking, spine tall. You can bring your feet closer together if you find it easier to stay more centered as opposed to coming back into stance. If you want to use stance, then you can think of everything going forward. You can step slightly forward, then bring it back. Meaning, if you want to work on kicking with your stance, you can kick and come slightly forward if that helps you to stay focused forward, as opposed to doing this, where your weight shifts too much to the side. So you've got two options. You can kick with your feet closer so you maintain upright balance, or you can kick coming slightly forward and coming back. Kick back so that you don't shift too much to the side. That's the point. You don't want to be shifting too much because you want your weight going forward with the kicks. Spine tall, power plane on, so you're still focusing everything down in the center. You can relax your arms for now, unless you want to keep your guard up, and if you are going to keep your guard up, keep that focused as well. It's good to just work on the correct movement of the legs. Good, back to punching. So, fist over fist, wrist over wrist. So, fully extending to a straightened arm. Fists stay on the center. Hi Evie. Hi Evie, where's your hair? Relaxed feeling. All right, back to kicks. You can go backwards and forwards with them if you want as well, but what you're trying to think of is that your spine's kind of staying on the same plane as you move backwards and forwards with your kicks. And even when you're moving backwards, you still have that power plane and intention forwards. We're always focused forwards. Good, back to punches. Centered in your intentions, sinking through the space. The idea is that you're bringing the state training into this. So the state is the foundation of everything. So however you best get into the feeling quality of the state, you do that. Whether you think of a baby or whether you go into your spiritual intention, whether you're sensing, whatever helps you to stay in. Reach into the same spot each time, fist over fist. So you're always covering and protecting your center. All right, we can start to speed it up now. Move backwards and forwards if you want. Time. Check it out. Alrighty. So this session's topic is the wooden man, and the primary concept of the wooden man is connecting to the center of a target. So you've got the log, you're connecting to the log as the primary kind of idea. Now, the idea that makes that possible is not fighting force with force. So whenever you make contact with an object, let's say is an object, I don't want to be fighting against the object. I want to be connecting to the center of the object. So rather than fighting against this point, I want to be connecting to its center. So you never, the idea is that we don't fight force with force. The fastest way you guys will get level ups in your Kung Fu is switching paradigms. That's the fastest way. Going from victim to responsible, going from forceful to powerful, going from physical to non-physical. And that requires an understanding of what is the new paradigm, but also a focus of your attention. So for example, if we're focused physically all the time on our physical body, to eat, to sleep it, to wash it, to watching the physical world, then you're more in the paradigm of the physical dimension, 3D. If you're more aware of the space you occupy and the context around you, then you start to go more into the non-physical, which is what we're looking to do. So you can start to use the mind and energy. So how does that apply to the dummy? Let's go over there. That'll make it easier. Let's go have a look at the dummies. Because a few of you guys have them as well. All right, here we are. So the first movement, some of us have gone over this before, but it's good to review because it's a paradigm, it's a way of thinking. Is this, you're making contact with arms, so it's this movement. Now you don't even need a dummy to do this, you could even do it with a wall or just imagine you have arms there. Is that I don't want to reach and put pressure here on this point. I always want to be thinking about that point. So I'm always thinking through. So the mental shift is, I don't fight force with force, I meet force with power. What does that mean? You stay centered in your intention, so you stay inside your center with the intention to be towards your spiritual intent, peace, joy, love, power, whatever, and you connect through to the center of the object. So if you think of it like you're coming up against a person, you don't fight their arms, you connect to their center through power. Via intention, directing the energy through your system to their center. So, you can do this movement to start. You can imagine you've got arms in the way and you're connecting through to that line, or you can use a wall if you want something physical, and go slowly. When you make contact with the object, your objective is not to force against it. So if I force against it, I'm gonna feel push. I'm gonna feel equal opposite reaction. I'm gonna feel a push against the object. If I can think more of being in my power and connecting into it, as I go to reach forward, I don't feel that same tension in my system, and I feel pressure go down to the floor because it travels through my structure. So I don't feel that my muscles pushing directly this way. I feel the incoming pressure go down to my feet. So if you have access to a dummy, you can just work on that. Just reaching through and feeling, okay, I'm not pressing at the contact, I'm staying in the center, focusing through to the center, and you should notice pressure on your feet as you reach further in, and you can do it wrong. You can go, okay, I'm gonna push directly against it with force, and observe how your system reacts. Notice how there's like a equal opposite reaction of force in your system. When you stay centered and you focus through into the target, even if it's just a wall, and you press, you should feel that the muscles want to release, and your force goes into the target, and the incoming force from the target goes down to your feet. So this way. So you can play around with that slowly, or in the air, it's up to you. You get the idea with that. We'll start with that, play around with that for a bit, then we'll do a few other movements. I'll answer any questions you have. So in your mind, it's, I don't meet force with force. So like, it's like you're subtracting the necessity to fight force with force. And this has an emotional relevance as well. You're thinking in terms of, I meet force with power. I meet force with power. So as you reach forward with the guard, as you reach forward, if you imagine there were arms here, 2 arms here, I maintain my focus in my center through there as I make contact. So this is one of the biggest problems, like this is a gigantic problem I see in Wing Chun, is that when someone makes contact with another person's arms, their focus goes to the contact point and they start to apply force. It's very common, like pretty much everyone does it. What you want to do is maintain your power. Stay aware in your center and the alignment of your center with the field of intention. So you're thinking peace in your center, or love in your center, or joy or power in your center as you make contact. And it's the center that connects to their center, not the arms to the contact point. If you can make this jump in the mind, so I don't meet force with force, I absorb force with power. Meaning you stay in the power plane, to put it very simply. If you can make that jump, that you don't need to fight force with force, you will tremendously increase your power generation. Not only from a fighting standpoint, but also in life, because it's similar in the mental and emotional context. Meaning when someone comes at you with force, like an argument, rather than meeting it with force, you absorb it and dissolve it with power. You stay in a higher frequency. You stay in a lovingness, a peacefulness, and it's like their attack will dissolve within your frequency. Power always absorbs force. It's just the nature of things. So, coming back to the physical practice, you can either use an object or you can just reach through, staying in the center plane, the power plane, as you reach through. So in your mind's eye, your arms are going forward, meeting imaginary force, but your focus is still power plane. So from the crown, so imagine this goes all the way down to the floor. It's like this. My focus stays in this as I reach forward here. I stay in power as I meet force. Guys who've been training longer, you can do, if you know the other movements, feel free to do those as well, but it's the same premise. You're maintaining power plane as you apply force in different dimensions. So if you're doing like a bong dai, or even if you're doing the step tan dai, like whatever the movement might be, you stay in the power plane. And you want to be very sincere and honest with yourself. Like, how is my body reacting here? Do I notice tensions activating in my system? Cool. Alrighty. Let's finish off with any questions you might have. All right, team, what questions do we have about anything today? State, I have time for maybe 1 or 2 questions. State, form.
State was awesome.
Yeah.
As far as the look form, anything that's really going, like the palm strikes or whatnot, that's obvious. You're going toward the center. It's third move.
Yep.
Going into the bong style, that's more of a block to the outside, and then rotating around to get
Yep.
side of for the palm strike.
Yep. So the way you want to think about the way you do the bong sao and step around to the tan sao to the side, yeah, that's correct what you're doing. You want to think of it that I'm expanding towards the center of the dummy, but because, I just put my own hand up, but because you meet force, you roll around it. So if you imagine I had a ball that was rolling at the dummy, but it can't go any further, it then rolls around. So the intention isn't actually to step and tan. The intention is to go forward. Because you go forward and it meets force, that's why it spins. So both the shoulder and arm spin and the spine spin around the dummy. Because ultimately, from the self-defense perspective, we just go forward. You maximize mass, momentum, intention, energy. You off water? Yeah, I can see you, bro. everything goes forward and it rolls around. So whether you're doing tan sao, bong sao, bong dai, whatever, that's the primary. Make sure you're going forward and rolling. Make sense?
Okay. Yep.
Cool. That's the primary concept you want to have in mind, that the only reason you're doing that is because you can't go forward any further without tightening up to a degree where it would be a disadvantage. Cool. Any other questions, team?
Whittling down little stuff in every form, as always, for the rest of my life. So, in the pressing series in Sifu John, when you're back here and you move forward, how precisely close, how much of the impenetrable elbow are we using when we bring our hands forward? Are you keeping it pretty close here? Kind of almost like bringing the arms out like this, or are we coming out
Yeah, it comes around. Just comes around the. So yeah, cool. I get it. Good question. So from here, the thumbs are touching.
Yeah.
And then it just comes around like the shortest distance. Yeah. So not like hyper close where you're touching yourself, but it just comes around to here.
Okay, so hands almost like skirting your silhouette.
Yeah, pretty much.
Your
Yeah.
hips.
So you
Okay,
might
cool.
have a sense of touching to the body, but not a pressing in. So it's just a short distance.
Yeah.
So so if the hands are caught behind, taking the easiest, shortest distance around the front. The way you think. So coming back to it, you always this is for everyone. So that makes sense to your question. But the underlying principle is, how do I move powerfully with every movement? So the state is training to move with the most power and the least force, so that you can move which is essentially in self-defense. You need to be able to move your body, right? So if you're caught in a restricted position, you need to be able to move. If your hands are behind your back, if you're held in some type of hold or pin, how do you continue to move? So that's the idea of the Sifu Tao. It's that we're not thinking of it as a pretend fight. It's a condition. We're developing power in every movement. Not only power, but correct structural positions and focus as well, which links into power as well. Cool. What other questions do we have, team? I'll be putting up the leaderboards later today for you guys who've started the 75 flow. I think Dave and T just started, and Red started. Rock and roll. Jace, are you gonna compete? Okay, he's scared. He's too scared. Yeah, that's all right. We still love you.
No, just distractions. Sifu, distractions.
Just being distracted. That's all right. Daniel, you're gonna do it, yeah?
Yeah, I was gonna do the recording before this class, but I didn't have time, so I'll do it.
Yeah, all
right
good.
now.
If you do it now, then it still counts as today, so that's fine.
Okay.
And I just realized you can be Daniel's son.
Yeah.
You seen the Karate Kid?
Yeah.
There's always a Daniel son. Welcome, Daniel son.
Yeah.
Mr. Miyagi, very happy to see you. All right, team. Have a fantastic rest of your day. We'll be back online in not long. See you soon. Much love. Peace out.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on one of our first lives here on YouTube. So, to exclusive access to me and a step-by-step curriculum. So jump into the links below, check it out, and look forward to seeing you in the next live. Peace out.